Hi guys, today I'd like to discuss remote neural monitoring and how it works to an extent. Anyway, one important thing I've found here is that there was a convicted criminal reported being subject to remote neural monitoring, and naturally, target individuals seem to be the enemy of somebody, and those enemies are not limited to, good, decent people of integrity. They could be the people on the receiving end of this abuse could be potentially be, for example, someone who's part of a criminal group who has leverage over the others, and these people want to get rid of him now, and make him look like a Looney Tune, make him look crazy, discredit him, in other words. Anyway, a man convicted of human trafficking, torture, rape, and other related charges earlier this year has filed a legal claim alleging that he is the victim of electronic harassment at the jail. I apologise for the colour here. Like I said, I use a dark colour because my eyes hurt a lot. Convicted East Bay human trafficker says he's victim of electronic harassment. So this guy might have had leverage over the people that he's involved with, and etc. They've just decided, we're going to put him down now. Anyway, citing a term that has appeared on numerous conspiracy theory websites called remote neural monitoring, or RNM, the claim by DeAndre Lewis alleges that unnamed deputies at the jail are using electronic frequencies to communicate thoughts into his head. The claim was filed through the law offices of William Welsh, a criminal defence attorney who handled Lewis's lengthy trial. Mr. Lewis can hear the deputies talking to him, mocking him and exploiting his fear, as the claim reads. Mr. Lewis experiences the voices day and night and has suffered extreme mental anguish and sleep deprivation. He is also periodically experiences burning sensation on his body as though microwaves have been focused on parts of his body while he lies in the cell. RNM is just one of several conspiracy theories involving government mind control. Those who believe they are being victimised by it often refer to themselves as targeted individuals, yada yada yada. There are patents for this, which I'll get onto. Anyway, the defence team attempted to have the court compel the jail to disclose any documents and materials regarding remote neural monitoring, but the court denied our request. So there was a request for information and it was denied. The lawyer, William Welsh: I have always believed DeAndre has been honestly and actually experiencing the effects of remote neural monitoring. It is just difficult to prove the existence of a remote neural program at county jail. So there is that in the news. There's a few other cases where people have been convicted after There was a man who stabbed someone who claimed he was being harassed as well. So these guys are either they're trying to look for a way out of jail, or these guys have been driven to acting out in a horrific fashion, unfortunately. Anyway, there are patents here. This is the patent. This is a recent patent by the Department of Defence. This is in 2000, April 4th of January 2000. Anyway, but furthermore, I just want to point out, in 1999, there was an experiment where scientists set out to see through a cat's eyes. Anyway, these are the first pictures from an extraordinary experiment which has probed what it's like to look through the eyes of another creature. As reported on BBC News Online, a team of US scientists have wired a computer to a cat's brain and created videos of what the animal was seeing. By recording the electrical activity of nerve cells in the thalamus, a region of the brain that receives signals from the eyes, researchers from the University of California at Berkeley were able to view these shapes. So these are the actual images, and these are what they see through the eyes of the cat. And you can see that they all correlate with, the existing footage from cameras. And this is a man's face here. It's very blurry, but you can make out two eyes here, and a nose, vaguely. Generally, it's all there. It's just lacking in detail. It needed some refinement. And here's some woodlands again, and you can see it all there too. So this was in 1999. And then they have more experiments into such. Here, just a second. Principal investigator of the Laboratory of Organic Electronics at Linköping University has developed new technology for long-term stable neural recording. It's based on novel elastic material composite which is biocompatible and retains high electrical conductivity even when stretched to double its original length. These are implants, so to speak. They've done this with mice, is what I've learned. So here, I'll have all of this in the description. But anyway, Okay, so here's the patent here. Patent 6011991. Remote brain computer interface, neural monitoring. A system and method for enabling human beings to communicate by way of their monitored brain activity. This is artificial telepathy. The brain activity of an individual is monitored and transmitted to a remote location. At the remote location, the monitored brain activity, e.g. by satellite or, radio, not radio mast, cell phone tower masts, radio masts, etc. These are all prime positions to put these things in. Anyway, at the remote location, the monitored brain activity is compared with pre-recorded normalized brain activity curves, waveforms or patterns to determine if a match or substantial match is found. Okay, if such a match is found, the computer at the remote location determines the individual was attempting to communicate the word, phrase or thought corresponding to the match stored normalized signal. This is level 9 news. Anyway, we'll continue just a second. The invention relates to a system and method for enabling human beings to communicate with one another by monitoring brain activity. In particular, the invention relates to such a system and method where brain activity of a particular individual is monitored and transmitted in a wireless manner from the location of the individual to a remote location. Okay, it's repeating itself now. Anyway, summary of the invention. Generally speaking, the invention fulfills the above described needs in the article by providing a method of communicating comprising the steps of providing a first human being at the first location, providing a computer at a second location that is remote to the first location, providing a satellite to transmit the information, providing at least one sensor on the first human being. This ties into remote sensing, nanosensing devices discussed in the previous Geointelligence Symposium and papers. Detecting brain activity of the first human being using at least one sensor and transmitting the detected brain activity to the satellite as a signal, including brain activity information. The satellite then sends the signal, including the brain activity information, to the second location for processing. A receiver at the second location receives the signal from the satellite and forwarding the brain activity to the signal to the computer. Excuse me. Comparing the recent brain activity with what they have on record afterwards, and so on and so forth. So this is it in rough. And then here are patents that are cited: Remote Neural Monitoring, Oregon State Hospital, President's Commission for the Study of Bioethical Issues letter to respondent, 2011. Patent 00395 1134. Distant brain reading and brainwave manipulation, 1976. Think of Jose Delgado's experiments with the monkeys and the electromagnetic waves. Patent 6011991. Communicating system and method including brainwave analysis and or use of brain activity. Patent 6470214. United States Air Force radio frequency hearing effect for skull tissue penetrating sound. Patent 6587729, similar to patent 6470214 previously mentioned here. So these are patents that exist. These are just some of them. And then furthermore, here's some more links here. A whistleblower, Russell Tice, has come out. I've looked at this. It's too long for me to go into here. And then there's that also. The Guardian Brain Privacy. Second. New human rights to protect against mind hacking. A response to advances in neurotechnology and reader alter brain activity. New human rights would protect people from theft, abuse and hacking. New human rights that would protect people from having their thoughts and other brain information stolen, abused or hacked have been proposed by researchers. The mover is a response to the rapid advances being made with technologies that reader alter brain activity. So, there's things like you wear one of these things and you can move a ball around the table, etc., stuff like that. It's not far-fetched at all. Okay, hypothetically, I'm not saying that this isn't happening because I'm pretty certain that this is happening to me, but hypothetically, this could, not hypothetically, this will be possible in the future. this will be possible in the future, and target individuals are canaries in the coal mine, right? This will be possible 100%. If you've seen the way these things work, the games that they've come up with, the other sorts of things that they come up with this technology, this will be possible in the future. And what target individuals are saying is particularly important, and it's not to just be ridiculed as some kind of conspiracy, because totalitarian regimes can rise up just like that. I mean, Wall Street funded Hitler's rise to power. It could be decided some dictator in some country somewhere could decide that he's going to impose this on everybody, and then maybe say, for example, he's got the best what's it called, the best version of this technology. Then he could subvert his enemies potentially in a way that is unparalleled in history. But people take this as some kind of joke because we're referred to as tinfoil hat wearing conspiracy theorists. This is particularly important stuff. I mean, it's talked about all throughout the first half of the 20th century with George Orwell and what's his name, Aldous Huxley. They were talking about how the different ways that total control of societies would be implemented. In Brave New World, it's kind of genetic engineering, and people are living purely for pleasure, and that's all. Whereas in 1984, you get written out of history. You can't mention XYZ. There's the youth. I can't remember, but there's youths that children rat out their parents for not agreeing with the INGSOC, etc. Stuff like this. It's kind of like an iron fist, kind of like the GDR turned out to be. There's a lot of similarities there, which are quite disturbing. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that briefly. I'm trying to keep the videos brief because I do wax on for quite a lot, for like half an hour, and half an hour is a bit too long, so I'm trying to keep this under 15 minutes. And I'll have some more videos made up soon. Thanks for taking the time to watch this. Take care, and goodbye for now.